What's poppin', y'all? This is DJ with One Shot Game, man. You already know how the motto go. You get one shot at life, but a lifetime to learn all the game you need to help improve your life. Now, as I always say, you got two choices. You can live the life that has been faithfully designed for you, or you can have the ability to create a path toward your destiny. That choice is also up to you. So listen, before I get into the title of my video, I want to say a big shout out to all my supporters. You guys are great. And even the ones behind the scenes, I see y'all too. So look, the title of this video is going to be on the fact that a lot of the reasons why relationships in general, romantic relationships, friendships, situationships, parent-child relationships, you know what I'm saying, teacher-student relationships, all type of relationships didn't or are not working out in maybe, you know what I'm saying, the last few couple of years is because a lot of it is on old rules and old programming. You got to really think about it. If you're missing a step, which is being taught how to truly be yourself and adjusting to the world, seeing fit as who you are, what happens is it's a world where people are controlling each other. You know what I'm saying? I only want to be around you if I can get this from you, which means I have to give you something in order for you to give me something. And the world is formulated off of that. So the moment you take away something, then the person disappears or they no longer want to be involved. You know what I'm saying? And that is a dynamic for a disaster because we're missing the main ingredient, which is when we love who we are and what we bring to the table. And I'm not talking about physically, I'm talking about spiritually. You know what I'm saying? The relationships will be formed. The people will come into your life. You know what I'm saying? The people want to be around. No one in the world wants to be around people where they feel as if they don't have no leverage. They don't have no say so. They don't have the ability to be them. You know what I'm saying? And so that causes a lot of friction in relationships. So, one primarily is romantic relationships. You know what I'm saying? I see a lot of them downward spiral. And honestly, that's purely because when you have two people that don't know who they are, they're in the relationship because they benefit off of each other. You take that away and no one has anything to benefit off of but to be directed to work on themselves. It's almost as if like it's an automatic energy that pushes two people away. And the answers and the reasons for why the separation are unanswered arguments because people don't really understand why the relationship has to end. It's because energy is now picked up and going in a different way. And because the energy from decades and centuries before our time has been so strong, which is, you know what I'm saying, women operate in a certain type of way. Men operate in a certain type of way. When you start to shift and adjust little by little to the energy and it changes, you start to realize, hey, I'm me. I gotta say so. I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? And you tend to automatically detach from someone who emits a certain type of energy of controlling and possession. It makes it really difficult to understand and be around humans that have that type of mentality. You know what I'm saying? It's almost as if like physically in the reality of the world, there's no reason for the departure. So the arguments go back and forth because there's really no reason that we can explain to give you an understanding of why it had to go separate ways. But in the spiritual world, the definition is completely defined, meaning the energy of who we are separated us because we were not truly ourselves, but we were versions of what people wanted us to be to gain what we wanted from each other. And once that starts to happen, it's almost as if like, you know what I'm saying? People don't like that. People don't like to feel as if they can't live life. You only get one. So it's almost like, okay, I care about you. You care about me, but you're controlling how I live life. You know what I'm saying? Which means, do you really care for real? Or are you controlled by your demons and your need for power and control? You know what I'm saying? It's a very real thing. I listen, and it's been around for so long, in decades. That's why you see a lot of people who just don't fit, because it's easy. It starts out good in the honeymoon stage, in the first days. You know what I'm saying? And that just goes for any relationship. You know what I'm saying? When a person doesn't realize who they are, it's almost like the controlling aspect is comfortable to them because they think it's normal. Until they start to figure out who they are, they're realizing that that's not normal. And relationships start to fall apart. And people start to separate. You know what I'm saying? So the lessons that oftentimes one person may be learning before another person, they will soon have to learn those same lessons. It just takes, you know what I'm saying, the energy leveling up at different times. You know what I'm saying? Understanding and realizing that since it's a new era where it's a new influx of energy, it's almost as if people only want to be in relationships with people that have pure energy, meaning you know who you are. It's not going to be a relationship where it's power, control, and talk about other people to try to feel like you're superior. That is a turnoff, and people can sense it energetically no matter what type of mask you put on in front of my face. When a person has the type of energy where they're not intimidated, you know what I'm saying? They're not basically in a space where, you know what I'm saying, they feel some type of power and control. I promise you, that's like two souls who become attracted to each other. Because it's like, listen, no one is being controlled in this situation. We're able to truly be who we are. And that is a turn on. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, okay, you really truly being honest. You know what I'm saying? You're telling me what's real. You're not standoffish. You're not, you know what I'm saying, defrauding me. You're not going against the grain. You're not in power and control and domination. Like, it's something that can be sensed in energy. So oftentimes people have to be able to, you know, control that aspect of themselves because people will sense it out, the good and bad. You know what I'm saying? Like mosquitoes to a light. You know what I'm saying? But when you're a person that knows that inside of yourself and you see it in someone else, it's a certain set of traits that they display. You know what I'm saying? And honestly and truly, it just comes from individuals in general. You know what I'm saying? So you have to really truly believe in who you are and what you stand on, because you'll start to believe like, okay, I just was learning lessons a little bit faster than everyone else. I'm not alone. I'm just on a different path than people who are on a path of being robots. And listen, it's no shade or harm towards them, but they have to be with the people that operate like that. They can't be over here, you know what I'm saying, energetically with people that think for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Because it will be the type of energy that you can just tell right off the back, okay, if I present myself as who I am, they're going to be the type of people that try to control that. They're going to try to finesse it. They're going to make it work for them. You know what I'm saying? In a way where over time, I'm going to feel used and abused. You know, and listen, that I'm telling you right now, that will take away your youthfulness. That will take away your ability to be strong. That's why I believe it's a lot of single people in the world right now, because they're regaining their power back. It's not that they don't want to be in relationships. It's the fact that they're waiting, you feel me, to be able to come across someone that doesn't drain them, but equally understands who they are. And you have to be aware of being able to understand the energy you give off. Because people, again, like I said, portray a good game. You know what I'm saying? When they first meet you or in the first couple of weeks, you may think that it's a good type of energy to get involved with until you start to see this ain't it. You know what I'm saying? But when you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, okay, like attracts like. You know what I'm saying? Listen, understanding and realizing people don't just want to be single. They don't. But at the same time, it's not the type of energy and world now where people want to feel as if you can do whatever you want and be powerful in your own situation. But you want to control me to make it to where I'm limited on what I can do. That's not equal. It's a type of balance where, again, like I said, you want to control me while you do whatever you want to do in the world. You know what I'm saying? And that's off balance energy, meaning that somewhere inside of your energy, you are not okay with who you are. Because if you were, you would understand that if you don't like to be controlled, why would you want to control someone else? You know what I'm saying? It's a very real thing. It's just a lot of people have been wired backwards, meaning we've been taught the complete opposite of what's true, so that we lean more towards the opposite side instead of the reality of the world. You know what I'm saying? To be able to be in a life where you have life people you have to have connections with. Like, you know what I'm saying? Parents with their children. But again, like I said, some parents, they go off and leave their children in the world. You know what I'm saying? Because they're solely focused on them. But then there is some parents that is willing to go through the battle of understanding and knowing their child, which means sometimes their energy may be completely different from yours. But it's like, I can't give up because I'm not weak inside myself. You know what I'm saying? It's facts. It's the truth. Oftentimes, reality of believing in yourself is hard. So I feel like a lot of men are being fathers like they should. It's changing, but some of them are still not because they're weak inside who they are, which means they can't give their child themselves because they're actually really weak. And that those children might be a reflection of, you know what I'm saying, who they truly are if they're losing power and control. You know what I'm saying? But again, that's why oftentimes people try to control souls the younger they are, because I get you under my power and control. You don't have the ability to know who you are, which means anything outside of the scope of what I say, you will be in my control, so you won't do it. You know what I'm saying? And that leaves a person feeling constricted, feeling as if they don't, you know what I'm saying, know how to vibrate with someone because they're feeling like they're tied down. When in reality, you got to really think about it. As people, we're free. We're born, you know what I'm saying, completely detached from our mothers. We may be connected in the womb through the umbilical cord, but when we are born, we are completely detached from, you know what I'm saying, the mother. Meaning that, you know what I'm saying, if you really think about it, like animals in the wild, mothers, like mother lions who have baby cubs, when they get to an age where they can walk, the mom basically be on her own hype. You know what I'm saying? And the babies are free to roam. She got a good sense. She can hear them. She know their clothes. She protects them, but she lets them experience the world on their own while she does her own thing. But her maternal instinct is to keep them out of danger, so she can hear by using her senses to know if they're in danger, and that's when she'll act. And she'll, you know what I'm saying, use her mother instinct. But she's not cradling them and coddling them and extra protective over them so they don't get a chance to experience the wild. You know what I'm saying? It's a very real concept that's also applied to humans as well. Energy is a very real and powerful thing, you know, and no human being wants to be with someone and feel as if they can't live because of who you are inside makes you feel as if you have to control me. And I don't want to be controlled because you don't want to be controlled. And imagine two people trying to be in a relationship, but they like to do their own thing. That's why cheating happens. You know what I'm saying? I love you, I care about you, but you're constricting me in some way or another. So I'm cheating over here because I feel like whatever's constricting me over here, I'm free over here. But if you allow a person to just be free, you know what I'm saying? And understanding and knowing, listen, I'm not jealous if you want to go hang with your friends. I'm not jealous if you want to go do this. I don't care about this and that. But there are certain things that I have in place that if you respect me, you will know, listen, you can't be spending the night over people's house. You too grown for that. Respect me and come home. Like, listen, it's certain things that people will be like, okay, I rocks with that. Because deep down inside, you know what I'm saying? They're going to be giving me something that, you know, lets them know they love me, but not a control issue. So a lot of times that's why relationships don't work. Friendships don't work. People fall apart, you know what I'm saying, until it's like people have lessons they need to learn on their own. And sometimes people will come back together. Sometimes they might not. That's just the reality of the world. You know what I'm saying? Because energy is a certain type of thing where if the wrong energy is connected to a certain type of energy, it's going to kill it off. You know what I'm saying? If you put two negative ends of the battery in something, it won't power up because it needs a negative and a positive. You know what I'm saying? And that's the equal balance inside of ourselves, which means You have to understand the polarity of life to be able to, not have no friction with people in your life. You know what I'm saying? And that's the reality of it. And that's why a lot of people's relationships have fell out over the years, because it was a control issue. It was the spiritual law they were abiding by. But as the spiritual laws change and conform to different rules, it's now set up where people are not adjusting to that, and they're figuring out who they are, which means I gotta let you go because you're still in this controlling aspect, and I've moved past that. You know what I'm saying? And listen, I'm telling you right now, don't do it. Don't do it. Listen, the arguing is only caused by confusion of not having a solution in the spiritual aspect of yourself, and you're taking what you've learned in the physical aspect and you're trying to solve a spiritual problem. And that's why it's never working. And the arguing keeps going on and on and on, and nothing is solved. What happens is people just go to sleep and wake up the next day and act like nothing ever happened. And what happens is the arguments start all over again, and over and over and over, and the cycle repeats over and over again until someone comes to the conclusion that, listen, this is not working because I have grown and you haven't. Simple as that. You know what I'm saying? When you are to a space where you know how to control who you are, having people around or even a life partner gets easier. It's understandable now, because it's like, okay, listen, I worked on myself. I'm only attracting these people that's on my level. I don't want to be around people that have not grown to the standard that I see fit for myself, and that's okay. It's just you're at a level where, you know what I'm saying, you're going to attract the people that are on your level, and that's fine. But it will be no trying to pull me back down to your level, because it benefits you. We're either on the same level or we're not on no level at all. And because that energy is so strong, particularly in everybody, but more so in women, the dynamics are changing. You know what I'm saying? I could benefit and do everything I need to do on my own. I've been surviving out here by myself. So, say for instance, you feel me, someone that has money is not attractive to me, because it's like you want someone to like you because you having money. That's not attractive. You know what I'm saying? Your soul is attractive. Who are you without the money? Are you the same person? Or are you the type of person that is only in power and control because you have money? Which is how they deem money, power, respect. Yeah, that comes with it too. But at the same time, I think if you X that out because of the new energy, it's all about your soul. That demands power. That demands respect. And then the money comes after. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people have money and are cruel, evil people behind the scenes. Nobody really likes that for real. And that's how relationships, you separate. People no longer want to be around that person no more, because they're being threatened by their status. Their reputation is going down, and it shows their true colors. You know what I'm saying? Listen, it's a very real thing. This is not fake. It's just things we're uneducated about. And as long as we're uneducated about something, we don't know, and we get confused about it, and we usually do something to get our mind out of that headspace so that we can act as if it don't exist. But this is not going away. This is going to stay here. And the more educated you are about the spiritual world and the physical world, the easier it is to attract everything you want in life. You know what I'm saying? So listen, if you don't know what it is, I just told you. Please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe.